Hello, everyone. This is the Easy Allies podcast. I am Kyle Bossman, the Dark Prince of Nerd Media. Joining us this week, Bradley Ellis.
Ka-chow!
Ben Moore. Ka-chow! Brandon Jones.
Happy birthday, Fish!
And making this all happen, Ian Hink.
Ka-chow.
Yeah, okay. Well, at least we got 3 ka-chows.
That's a ka-ching. 3 ka-chows is a ka-ching.
3 ka-chows is a ka-ching.
Ka-ching.
And then I think it's like 10 ka-chings is a ka-chung.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, the conversions are weird. Let's do corrections. No, bouncers before corrections.
Okay. Is it?
I can't remember.
We got to set
No,
the bouncers.
I think it's corrections
There's
first.
200 of these.
No, I know. I know it is because I've had to cut. You do corrections so fast. I've had
Yes.
to cut the intro music short
Oh, wow. That's happening
because you
before?
just jump
it's
right into
corrections
corrections. And
first.
so I'm
All
like,
right.
oh well.
I want to let the music play out.
Let your rage out, man.
Brandon Jones, if you would, begin corrections music, please.
Anytime Kyle makes me edit this show in any way, I get really frustrated.
So the EX moves we were talking about, they did originate in Darkstalkers in 1994, 1 year before Street Fighter the movie, the game. Vampire Savior, if you must. But yeah, that's the first game that really featured these modifiable special moves that burn some meter on them. Nintendo Switch is $300, has always been $300. I don't know why I keep saying $350. It's just something about me.
Need about 350.
It's a character flaw. We have a special correction because Ben is here and there was just some stakes behind this correction. A while ago, when we did our Pop-Tarts and Toaster Strudels, we announced the release date for Grand Blue Fantasy Versus to be something in February 18th, I believe. A lot of commenters said, that's not it. Some commenters said, yeah, that's probably it. And so we continued this correction another week. And I said, please, I don't have anything that states otherwise. And finally, we did get an official statement that Grand Blue Fantasy Versus will release in the US on March 3rd.
Oh, that's not February though.
It's not February, and I do believe that Ben referred to anyone who believed it would not be on that date. You referred to them as scrubs. And because of that, Ben, you are now the scrub.
Wait. Can you say that again?
Yes, Ben. You are now the scrub.
Yeah!
Yes.
Yeah!
Yes.
All right!
You did it, Ben!
I did it!
You did it!
I did it!
You're the scrub!
And I'm gonna get you in the back!
Yes!
Okay.
Woo!
Man, he's really wanted to be a scrub for a long
I
time,
know.
too.
I'm just like happy for him. I feel like we've been waiting for this for years. There he is.
Congratulations, Ben.
He did it. Scrub status. End corrections music, please.
Okay.
We must, before ending the corrections section, though, acknowledge.
I can't wait to FaceTime my parents about that.
If you want to do it now,
Oh, really? They're probably asleep.
Good job, son.
they can wait. Proud of you. But we have to acknowledge a video that was obviously tweeted at me a lot. MinMax, with 2 N's, made this video where they were attempting to compare Pop-Tarts to toaster
Min
strudels.
Snacks.
Is the name of the video?
Yeah. Well, it's the name of the series. Yeah. You know where they.
Yeah, obviously,
Max
very
Snacks.
clever. It's a disturbing video. So basically, they start with Pop-Tarts, right? And then they were about to move on to toaster strudels.
And like a comparison, I believe.
Yeah, but they said, hold on, let's try more Pop-Tarts. And it's just 3 people here from MinMax. And then the weird thing is, like, they just start ravenously tearing through these Pop-Tarts.
They have more than they actually start with on camera. And
Yeah.
They like go off to like somewhere else, I guess, in their office and like get more Pop-Tarts, which maybe like weren't supposed to
And it's
originally be
just-
part of the video.
It's the way they're eating them too. At one point, they don't even unwrap it anymore. They're just like chewing through the silver wrapper.
They
I
stopped
think one guy
talking.
ate a
like-
box. Ate part of a box.
Yes.
of
Yeah, this is
Pop-Tarts.
what I'm saying.
Well, they don't just eat them either. It was weird. They like cut up into little tiny pieces, almost like powder, and they just started snorting it line
Yes.
by line.
Yeah, look.
And like we've all done that. I've just never done that on camera.
Right, not on camera. That's a private affair.
I like Pop-Tarts, right? They took it to an extreme that disgusts me.
Yeah. Some guy
That's-
was like breathing on one really heavy. It's kind of weird.
That was Ben.
That's the internet age we live in.
So no, we're not going to acknowledge the video. We're not going to give it any more attention that it just does not deserve. In fact, please avoid that video at all costs. This is the end of that discussion. Thank you. Okay, let's play a game. Time for Tough Bouncers. Tough Bouncers is, of course, the game in which Easy Allies, we own the most popular nightclub for video game characters in Los Angeles. It's so popular, in fact, that sometimes we have to turn away very famous video game characters. So our patrons submit 2 game characters to us. We must pick one who gets into the club and one who we must tell to go home. Or not here. You don't have to go. So Space Dom and Tanner Methvin submitted these, respectively. Our first submission, Ooh La La from Space Channel 5.
Ooh.
Obviously a great dancer.
Oh, yeah.
Also famous TV reporter. And landing a spot on space television could be huge for our business. Okay?
We're turning away people, though. I mean, we don't.
There's no downside.
I'm into having a good time at the club. I'm not so much worried about publicity and
That's
getting
not
in there.
true.
I mean,
That is never true.
we're turning people away, though.
Jones not concerned about publicity. I don't know.
Trying to
It's
play
not a
it cool.
2020 goal. Let me put it that way.
Our other option, Sylvando from Dragon Quest XI.
All right.
Oh man.
He's a
Sorry,
soldier.
Lila.
He's a soldier of smile, bringing joy everywhere he goes, and he can dance like nobody's
Yes,
business.
quite an entertainer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Sylvando leads a parade.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
at attracting attention.
Convinces people who would never be a part of a parade that this
Yes.
is their
Right.
life's
Yes.
calling.
Yes.
They leave their homes, they leave their careers to go join his parade.
Sylvando is passionate.
Yeah.
So much passion.
Ooh La La is great. I really thought we were going to end up picking Ooh La La, but can Sylvando be denied?
You read those out in the right order,
So
sir.
the thing is, Ooh La La has a lot of influence. And I think you're saying no to a lot of influence.
But we're already at capacity, so we don't need more influence.
Yeah.
Also, yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't know. It's like we hire a DJ. You know what I mean? Like we have somebody there who's in charge of the music. And I just feel if Ooh La La comes in, she's going to kind of take over. And it's like, what do we do? Do we have her do that solely? Do we force our DJ to work with her? Or do we, when does her music start and the DJ's music stop?
She
If we
just
bring in
raps to it.
Sylvando, I think he's going to jam to whatever we got going on.
Ooh La La, I think the music just starts around her and she just says like, chew, chew. I don't know
Yeah.
if she really creates the music.
I don't know.
She would lead the
Shoot,
crowd
shoot.
in dances, interactive dances at worst.
And I do want to say one thing. I think that, any club in Carlsbad could fill up to capacity. Great job. We want to have the hottest
Yeah.
club. We
Yeah.
want to have
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
hottest people, the
Yeah.
biggest video game
Yeah.
characters in the world.
You might as well have just said a description for Sylvando.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's it. Then see,
I'm hearing
the thing is too. Savano's friends are also hot. You know what I mean? When Savano shows up with a bunch of strangers, like all of them are hot.
I'm not sure that's true.
All of them.
All
All
of
of
them.
Thinking
Who's it?
back.
Dave? Is it his guy's name is Dave?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dave's the best.
All right. Okay. You know what? Sylvando is in. We have to turn Ooh La La down.
That feels
not
bad.
allowed in the club. It's
She doesn't
it's
need to
hard.
roll. She can just roll.
I don't
with
feel
it.
bad.
She's fine.
Savando is a team player.
It is a hard, hard game to play though. Do you all remember my favorite way to start a podcast?
Game announcement.
That's it.
No, it's corporate shakeups.
Oh,
Yeah, I
okay.
know.
Okay, so we got some big corporate shakeups.
I like the way she says business.
Business, yeah,
Yeah.
me too. Speaking of big business, there are very few video game publishers bigger than Take-Two.
Yeah.
Take-Two had a disclosure this week.
Big Daddy.
Yes. And they had to, I'm just going to read their disclosure because it's incredibly brief and it's all the information we have. We know nothing besides this.
Yeah.
After an extended break beginning in the spring of 2019, Dan Houser, Vice President, Creative at Rockstar Games, will be leaving the company. Dan Houser's last day will be March 11th, 2020. We are extremely grateful for his contributions. Rockstar Games has built some of the most critically acclaimed and commercially successful game worlds, a global community of passionate fans, and an incredibly talented team, which remains focused on current and future projects. Period. End of statement. That's all we know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy took a break, came home,
He's out.
said, "I'm out."
I just envision it like he took a break and he's like, this is pretty nice. Let's
Yeah.
just keep this rolling.
Yeah. So
I don't need to work anymore.
Yeah, I mean, so he doesn't, but this guy's been working for years. Almost every GTA he's written on, except for the very first one, the London one is the first one he was a writer on. But everything up to this point, Red Dead Redemption's writing on that.
Bully.
Bully writing on that.
Hell yeah.
An executive producer on a bunch of these projects, most of the recent GTAs, and I think RDR2, maybe exec producer on that. And as they said, vice president of creative at Rockstar. Not sure what that title really means, but I think he says yes or no to everything. But Rockstar, this whole company was founded by he and his brother, Sam Houser. So this is a pretty big deal, but we have no idea how big of a deal this is. And Brandon Jones promised he had a hot take for this one.
Oh.
Bring it on me.
I'm okay with this.
What do you mean you're okay with this?
I don't know. I didn't, when I saw this, we saw this, we were live, I think. This was during the Q&A, maybe?
Yeah.
That this came up, and like, so I was on camera. Like, you can see my face the moment I found out about this. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, not that, like, I'm going to miss his writing, not that I didn't enjoy his games, but like, it's one thing if someone like this leaves in the middle of a game. You know, it's like when seeing this delayed and seeing that he had a break was like, okay, he finished Red Dead 2 and was like, I'm out. And they're like, wait until like 2021. And he's like, no. And then they're like, wait until summer of 2020. He's like, no. And they're like, March. He's like, March 1st. And they're like, 11th. He's like, fine, whatever. You know, like that was it. You know, and they were just like, how far can we push this back so this doesn't hurt GTA Online, so this doesn't hurt Red Dead Online, so we can get as many sales as we can. And then it's just like, oh yeah, now he's really in between projects. Now it's going to be months, if not years, before we get any sort of hint of news of GTA 6. You know, they're really just going to be focused on their online efforts. And frankly, the company, as many people have noted online, is moving in a direction that kind of steps away from a lot of stuff that when I think of Houser, I think of like a particular type of attitude that I think is so unique to games in terms of parody. Like, I love Naked Gun, I love Top Secret, I love Hot Shots, I love like just this kind of irreverent, like, characters that I actually do care about, but understanding that the whole thing just I shouldn't really take too seriously because it's just making fun of everything. Kind of like, you know, like Lego humor, but for adults, of just kind of like, you know, because like,
I don't think GTA has been that for 10 years, Jones.
we look at, I mean, I don't even know what it's called. Friendster. Friendster is a real thing. What they call Facebook in GTA 5. Like, that's just classic GTA. You know, their Mark Zuckerberg character. I mean, that's like, you go through the offices. Like, they really just, it's kind of like South Park, how they won't just like do a joke and then move on. They will do that joke from top to bottom. Like, they will just swim in that. It'll become a lore and part of the world. And you will constantly have it come up. You can go to their website. You can hear commercials. You can talk to people that work for the company. I mean, it's just like you keep coming back to that. They do it over and over and over again. To some people, it's too much. For me, I love it. I think their worlds are so zany and silly. But he's done so much.
Yes.
You know, it's kind of like, yeah, I just think he's so prolific, and I think there's so many people that are still working at that team. I don't mind seeing a franchise like Red Dead or Bully or GTA try new things and branch out. Like, I've been so blessed by that series. And because so many thousands of people need to be involved in each of these games, I don't get that sense of auteurship that I think you would get, you know, from a Kamiya game, or you would get from, you know, Souls, or you get, you know what I mean? Like,
well, the Housers are famously cagey.
Right. They don't interview a lot, and so it's just really hard. I don't know. It's super cloudy. Like, whenever I just try to like really get to the bottom of this, I saw a lot of people doing conspiracy theory stuff. If they're just like, well, GTA 6 won't have a story, and it's like, I mean, I won't be surprised if that happens. Like, Bully's canceled. It's like, well, I don't know. It's, you know, they're going to do whatever's going to make them money, and GTA 6 would certainly make them money, and GTA 6 probably needs to have a protagonist, you know, like there's going to be some sort of perspective. I don't know if the writing's going to be that good, but there's just so much writing. And I noted a long time ago that every time I would see his name come up, there was always at least one name with it. It was always one written by Dan Houser and at least one other person. I think Red Dead 2 was written by like 5 people. Sure. And so there's always been other people involved with him. And so I always got the idea that like he was the creative lead. He was the one that would ultimately say, no, this, no, this. Kind of like a showrunner. Like Joss Whedon, some of my favorite Buffy moments, he had nothing to do with, but he still approved all of it. And so he would come in and he'd write that one episode, just like you can tell every now and then a mission. It's like, that's probably was a Houser mission right there. But there's so many other people bringing their ideas. And
there's no way to tell, though. Like, Joss Whedon would like go to Comic-Con and say, yep, that was my idea.
Yeah.
And with the Housers, like, no, we have no idea.
Yeah.
We don't even know if he's a good writer.
So I couldn't really put my finger on like what's going to go away.
Yeah.
That's
the weird part.
And it's just not one of the things where like I just feel I've gorged so much on GTA and Red Dead and everything from that team that it's not just like we're not getting more. It's like we got a lot from this guy, and I think he did a really good job of showing where the successes are. You know, when it works. You know, when he created 3 characters, how that can work, how their personalities can be different, but they can all still be trashy people. You know, and And at the same time, it's kind of like I get frustrated at Nintendo, I get frustrated at Apple, I get frustrated at Sony for doing weird stuff. But it's like, can you argue that the direction that Red Dead and GTA is going in is not working out really well for Take-Two and Rockstar, and it's going to give them lots of resources and a big, strong community to really launch any sort of efforts that they do in next gen. Whatever Rockstar announcement happens in next gen is not going to crash because this happened.
Jones, I am gonna humor the naysayers you were talking about earlier, though. I do believe going forward there might be less emphasis on story.
Sure.
That is the reason Red Dead 2 took so long. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like maybe they put too much work into those things where the reason GTA 5 has been such a success is because of online this whole time.
I wonder how much power he had over just even getting projects off the ground.
Yeah.
I wonder if Red Dead 2 would have happened without him, or if he was one of those people. It's like, we're doing this, no question. Like, this is
funny.
what we need to do with this technology. This is what we need to do now.
Do you remember when we talked about the Benz?
Of course.
Benzies? Yeah. And how they desperately wanted him on Red Dead Redemption 2. And he got through it. I really wonder if, like, the joy was gone. Like, made this game without the Benz. And, I kind of wonder if it's that kind of thing.
Yeah. Just ready to move on, man.
Yeah. Benzies moved on?
It just doesn't have that BioWare with Anthem kind of, it's like, no, they went wrong. They made it, he just made a lot of super successful games, and now he's going to go do something else. And so it's like, even if there is a conspiracy behind it, even if Take-Two really did treat him bad, even if he just saw where online was going and was like, no, this is not for me. Okay, I don't know. I'm not going to make predictions. I'm not going to say it's going to go one way or another, or I know. That's what I'm kind of resisting. Is a lot of people on social media are like, I know what's going on, and none of us know, really. Keeley knows, but no one else knows. Schreier knows, but that's about it. I wish him the best of luck. I'm grateful for all the incredible work that he's done. It's crazy to see photos of him with the article and be like, yeah, I could walk by that guy in the
What's he look like? I didn't see photos.
He looks like a grown-up, I forgot his name now, but the lead of Bully. He looks like the kid from Bully, all grown up.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fun.
He's a bald dude.
Based off my life.
He's wearing like a hoodie and everything. He's just it's interesting. He's like one of those guys that just doesn't need to be, he's like Coppola. He's like, or not Coppola, but reminds me a lot of Kubrick. It's like I remember seeing a documentary of Kubrick one time, and he said something, and I was like, I think that's the first time I've ever heard Kubrick speak. Mm-hmm. It's like there's not many interviews where he's like, well, let me talk about 2001 for an hour.
Yeah,
he never did commentaries. He never did, he never taught like a college course. He would just show up every couple years, drop something on the world, and then go away. And then would come back. Yeah, would come back later, and so that's always kind of where Rockstar's been for me. Is it's not like where I'm at with WB Montreal and Rocksteady is like, what are you doing? Where with Rockstar is just like, yeah, have fun. Make whatever it's going to be, and I'm going to play the hell out of it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't need to be. It'd be fun if it was Vice City. It'd be fun if it was London. But if they're like, we're going back to New York, I'll be like, I'm going to have a blast.
Yeah.
Go for it.
It's something, right. We can't guess the impact. I think if things do go awry, we could trace it back to this point.
Sure.
It's not kind of how I feel about this story in particular.
Yeah. It's a big deal for him. I'm sure the company is going to feel it. I'm sure his coworkers are going to feel it, especially on the executive level. Mm-hmm. I'm sure there's some people that are going to be like, okay, kind of like when Jobs first left Apple, and people are like, all right.
Yeah.
Now what? Now it's going to be, or like when Disney died, like a lot of those people were like, I got ideas. Certainly. It's just what's the right idea, moving forward. I wonder if he filled that role more than anything.
So what I kind of like about that is it was Take-Two making this announcement. He doesn't have a Twitter account that we all follow.
Yeah.
And it is juxtaposed interestingly with our next corporate shakeup, which is that Rod Fergusson this week left the Coalition, the studio that exclusively makes Gears games. And he's going to go oversee the Diablo franchise at Blizzard. And the way this was announced was a tweet. He said, starting in March, I will join Blizzard to oversee the Diablo franchise. Leaving is bittersweet, as I love our Gears family, the fans, and everyone at the Coalition and Xbox. Thank you. It has been an honor and a privilege to work with you all. Completely different. And actually, I think the tweet included a staff photo with everybody at the Coalition.
Yeah.
Really, really different. What's so weird is I was trying desperately to find out what his old job title was at the Coalition. Every article just kind of says, and even the Wikipedia article is just like, he was studio lead, but also head of the franchise. I don't know what his title was. He was just in charge of Gears of War since the Coalition, I think, started in 2014 or 15. He was credited as director for Gears 5. Did not even know that.
Cool.
So that's pretty nuts. That person has left the Gears franchise to go work on the Diablo franchise.
Yeah.
This is sending
Diablo 4? Yeah. The Diablo
And the mobile.
franchise.
And the mobile.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This is sending a pretty clear message to me.
Of what?
Because this is exactly what he did with BioShock Infinite. Because he was called in to basically like finish BioShock Infinite to get it on track. And I have to imagine that on some level that's going to be kind of similar to Diablo, where it's like, listen, like we need to get this done and it needs to be good.
Yeah.
And you have a history of overseeing huge franchises and getting them done and getting them on track. He's just like, I don't know, I say this in a positive way, but he seems like kind of an industry cleanup guy where it's like, we kind of have a little bit of a mess in our hands, like steer the ship.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's what's interesting about the Coalition is that it was previously a studio that was working on a brand new game, and then Microsoft bought the Gears franchise, and then this man just kind of comes in and says, "I'm your boss now," because he knows Gears, right? Ben, I think that's fair, and I do wonder what state.
I mean,
that Diablo game is in.
Diablo's 4 has been going through like a nightmare of development. The game's been in development for a long time.
Yeah.
This makes me think it's way farther from being done too.
Yeah, that game's like at least next year, at least.
Also, like, I don't know, it doesn't bode well to me. Like,
what? Blizzard?
Just anything about it. It's like if you're calling in a ringer at this late stage, you know?
I mean, just look at Blizzard's recent portfolio.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I do wonder that. I wonder, oversee is the verb that he picked even. I wonder how much that is marketing. You know, I do wonder how much of that is development, and I wonder how much of it is, PR and messaging and things like that. But, yeah, I think that Diablo game is far off.
Yeah.
I do. I really do.
I always got a sense that Rod was pretty in tune with the Gears community, and like the Gears community liked him a lot. And boy, Blizzard needs some of that. Like somebody that they can look at and they're like, oh, okay, like this guy gets it. This guy is taking it where we want it to go. He's listening to us. And I don't know to what extent that will play out.
Yeah, they need like a Jeff Kaplan for Diablo.
Jeff Kaplan's Overwatch guy. Yeah, he's great. He's really, really good. Yeah, they do need that. Diablo needs that.
Yeah.
And I wonder how soon that starts, how soon he starts communicating to us from that team.
It's so wild, though, to like see a trailer that costs millions of dollars for Diablo 4, and then like a month or two later you find out like, oh, they're hiring someone else to like steer the ship now.
They had gameplay even. I mean, you saw snippets of that gameplay being played.
It's so wild.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like, I don't know, when you said cleaner, I just thought of the Wolf, Harvey Keitel from Pulp Fiction, and I just like, I think fast, I act fast, I talk fast. It's just good coffee. Like I just imagine Fergusson coming in like that. Like it's good. All we gotta do is clean the car, and then you get out of here. That's it. That's it's like I don't, it might not be that delayed. He's like, we just gotta nail this.
Sure.
We gotta do a good job. Because it's Gears 5. It kind of slipped through some of our goatees, but it was a game that did review well. It's just like you said, Brad. You were like, it's technically great. It's just not one of my favorite things that I played in 2019. But like, I was pleased with it, and I think Blizzard's like, let's at least do that.
So that's what.
Can
that's
you
what I
just
wanted to
promise
I think
that that's gonna
Diablo is
happen?
extremely high stakes, especially where it's been after 3, then whatever Immortal was announced.
And the mobile game.
It's
and
not
everything,
been good.
Yeah, that's what I want to ask the panel is, from Gears to Diablo, is this a big upgrade for Rod Fergusson?
I think Diablo's more impactful. I think Diablo needs the help more right now. I think he kind of set Gears like on a path, like a nice solid path.
Yeah,
I think Diablo is still like
more to do, more influence.
Needs
over
a
that.
lot more work.
Yeah.
So I think it's
Well,
good.
it's interesting because if you go and you listen to Blizzard talking about Diablo 4 at BlizzCon 2019, that was very much their messaging where it's like, this is not final, this might change, here's an idea for a thing that we haven't totally figured it out yet. So it wasn't like, here's Diablo 4, it's like, here's what we've got started with Diablo 4. Like, this is going to change.
I mean, yeah, they even did that with their new WoW expansion. They were talking about it like that. Like, Blizzard's been like in a very weird state.
With the WoW expansions, you have a lot of faith that it's going to happen.
I mean, it's going to happen.
WoW just kind of works, right? The Diablo thing,
it
I
launches
get the
and people aren't happy about it, the state it's in.
I see. Still?
So, I mean, this expansion was not looked upon back fondly.
Which one is this expansion?
Battle for Azeroth.
I'm super lost in this. That was 2 years ago, right?
Yeah, I think it launched 2 years ago.
And people still don't like Battle of Azeroth?
I mean, it's gotten better, but it was rough.
Oh, man.
I don't think it affects the numbers in the way that a tanked Diablo 4 could be
I
depressing.
mean, that's bad. That's real bad.
I think it still recovers in a way because it's just
you're gonna get another WoW expansion in a couple years. Like Diablo's like you're waiting a decade.
Yeah,
right.
And I also think one of the negative things, just for me personally, as somebody who like loved Gears 1 and then I never went back. I've never returned to that franchise except with the exception of I reviewed Gears 4, but like that was my perspective. Was just like missed 2 and 3. Here we go. Let's see if this series can get me. And I just think a lot of things. I remember us at E3, we were like, oh, what are we gonna see? And it was like a multiplayer mode that was kind of interesting, and celebs like under the stage playing it, and it was like, wow, this is for Gears fans, you know. And like even a lot of the advertising was like this character, and it's like I don't know who that is. Wow, they were really selling this, predominantly to the fan base directly.
Yeah.
And it's like I think that would be what you do with Diablo at this point. You'd be like, we have to get them. Like if this game can have legs, we can bring it over people over time, especially if it comes out on next gen consoles. We can sell it in all sorts of different ways. But we have to make the core happy. We gotta really satisfy them in a big way.
Yeah, man, Diablo is so tricky because Diablo casts such a wide net where it can be, if you want it to be, the kind of game where it's like, I'm just going to have a friend come over and we're just going to like kill stuff and shoot the shit for a couple of hours. You can do that, or you can just be like, oh, I really want to care about the story, and so you dive into the story. Or if it's like, oh, no, I want to, do seasons, I want to get in there, I want to grind it out. Like there are so many levels at which you can play Diablo either alone or with other people that you have to kind of appease all of them at the same time, and that's difficult to do.
And I think the focus will be on the monthly active users. The focus will be on hooking people in for I think that's just
case in point, him saying franchise.
Yes.
As if like the many things going on with Diablo. And it's like to a lot of people it's just 4, dude. To a lot of people it's 4 and then everything else 4 is the tree and everything else is an ornament, man. I mean it really needs to 4's gotta do well.
It's interesting. To me, it is an interesting hire. You don't see it too much. Somebody taken from another franchise just brought into a separate franchise that are both huge.
Yeah, at the announcement as well. That was one of the questions. Like I can't recall someone making a move to a company that said the game, and in tandem with the announcement.
It's more like I'm really excited
to Blizzard for Diablo. It's usually just Blizzard, and then 6 months later we find out, ta-da! It was this. This is what I'm working on.
Yeah.
To do both at the same time. Yeah, they want to send a message for sure.
The message was sent.
Yeah.
I do want to talk a little bit more about Activision, actually. We got more Activision news. Investor calls happened this week. So last week we had EA, Nintendo, and one other, I can't remember. Maybe it was just EA and Nintendo. No, it was the other one. Can't remember. What did we talk about?
Was it Microsoft?
Yes, obviously. Thank you, Jones. Okay, so this week we have Activision and Ubisoft.
Cool.
So Activision down everywhere year over year, except for
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty. Nice, Jones. Yeah, Call of Duty's up just a little bit, but enough to be like, oh, nice, we did it. Really cool. Call of Duty Online is doing
According
great.
to them?
What do you mean?
Well, success to us is one thing. To Activision, it's always how much success.
According to Activision, they are very stoked about Call of Duty Online. And Call of Duty Mobile, excuse me. Call of Duty Mobile.
Oh, yeah, Call of Duty Mobile.
Yes,
Yeah.
excuse me. I meant to say Call of Duty Mobile. But here's the interesting part. Here's where I get excited. During its earning calls for Investors Day, by the way, thank you to gamesindustry.biz for helping me out with this stuff. During its earnings call for investors today, Activision Blizzard confirmed a bit more information about its plans for the coming year, including continued updates for World of Warcraft Classic. Okay.
Wow.
Alpha testing for Diablo Immortal. Wow. That's the mobile game. Wow. Announcements of a number of remastered and reimagined titles to be made later this year. And the Call of Duty.
Made later
and
this
there's
year.
Call of Duty Q4 2020, and that's happening, no question. Panel. A number of remastered and reimagined titles announced this year from
That
Activision.
number could be 2.
Well, what's great
Yeah, it could be 2.
is they can just remaster their remaster. They could just do Warcraft 3 Reforged, Reforged.
Reforged again.
I'm excited by that.
It's Crash.
Well, Electronic Arts said the same thing too. Hasn't
What do you
EA
mean,
been
no?
like kind of winking about that? They're like,
What?
we might remaster something.
They're out of Crash.
They're gonna make a new
remaster.
one.
They're all out.
They're gonna make a brand new Crash.
Yeah, that's not a remaster or reimagination.
I think reimagine Crash Bandicoot what it is, baby.
I see what you're saying.
Get the Call of Duty spin on it.
Yeah, so I think that Crash and Spyro, I would consider those reimaginings more than I would consider those remasters.
Yeah.
What they did with those two franchises.
Tony Hawk 2?
Jones, I'm thinking
Tony Hawk, maybe,
I'm
yeah.
absolutely thinking Tony Hawk.
I'm thinking Tony Hawk.
You too?
Yeah.
Are we
absolutely.
legitimately thinking that, or are we being dreamers?
No. I'm like, they want to crack that nut.
It's time for them to bite again.
Yeah.
Man, that'd be dope.
That would be dope. That's
If
the thing
Crash
is, like,
Team Racing performs that well, it's like Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 remastered
Would crush.
would be humongous.
Yeah,
It's
so-
actually kind of exactly like Crash and Spyro, where they were good and then they were like weirdly bad for a long time. The world is just waiting for a good one. Like, you give us a good Tony Hawk game, it'll do well.
It'd be fun if it's just identical. They literally just spruce the whole thing up, but you can still play as the original like PS1 versions of the riders. So
Works-
it's
it
a
works in
gorgeous
Tomb Raider.
environment, but
Yeah.
you're all like polygonal and
So
goofy looking.
What's funny about that is, I mean, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater HD exists, and it just wasn't there.
Right.
Right.
And I wonder what the Crash and Spyro version of a reimagining of Tony Hawk. I wonder what level it's got to be at.
It's got to be at a Crash or Spyro level.
Yes. Which is to say, graphically interesting, visually interesting.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it just has to feel right. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
I think it's got to look
course.
right, and I think it's got to feel right.
Yeah.
And you have to get a bunch of licensed songs.
Yeah, look right
True.
is pre-release and feel right is post-release.
Yeah.
You know, if you can win both of those, you'll do really well. You can goof one, but you gotta sync both.
If it doesn't feel right, yeah, it'll die on the vine. If it looks good, people will be hyped until it comes out, and then word of mouth will kill it.
Yeah.
But it does have to look interesting, yeah. If it's
Yeah.
photo real, I don't see them spending that much money. It's gotta look interesting.
But you gotta spend budget. And I think that's what they learned. I think that they learned this through the Crash Team Racing, through the Crash success, through the Spyro success, is, if we put effort into this, this works. Now, Crash Team Racing, I think, is pretty interesting. Because that's not just a remaster, not just a reimagining. This thing is games as a service, baby.
Yeah.
This thing, they're still
Just testing the
plunking
waters.
updates into this. Yeah. Still making money off this store. And so I do wonder if there is a way to monetize a Tony Hawk game the way they monetize Crash Team Racing.
Oh, definitely.
Add a season to Tony Hawk?
You could just, I mean, you
New
can just
characters.
easily do cosmetics
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
all the
Skaters,
characters,
boards.
and
I think for the look, I was thinking too, you could do, and you could monetize this. You do kind of like what Spider-Man did, where you have the different shaders you can apply. And, like, you put, like, a 90s music video shader on that game, and you're, like, set, man. People would love it.
Photo
Yeah, that's
mode.
pretty cool.
Make all kinds of different looks
I
for the
mean,
game.
how easy would it be to do like daily and weekly challenges for Tony
Yeah.
Hawk, or to even do like
It's all there. They're there for you.
exactly.
Yeah, earn Tony bucks.
I gotta get some Tony
Tony
bucks.
bucks.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Hilarious.
I wonder if that game can continue to engage you. Maybe multiplayer becomes bigger in a way. Just horse tournaments. I don't know how to do it. I really
Horse
don't.
tournaments, baby.
Yeah, I don't know how to keep people engaged online.
Did that series ever have ghosts?
I can't remember.
No, like you follow somebody
Yeah.
and try to. Yeah, I don't know.
You just watch a replay as it happens.
I would
It'd be
love to
kinda fun.
watch replays and just
Kind
like,
of fun,
oh,
maybe
that's
to watch
how
a
you
couple
do
at
that.
the same time.
Yeah.
Just load a couple
Tony
friends.
Hawk
and-
had ghosts. Maybe I'm mistaken.
Sure.
but I thought so.
It just doesn't like. There's Tony Hawk's done a lot of weird things, man, and like to me, that IP has survived Ride. That IP survived 5. That infamous party with the caterers like leaked. I just think it.
Dude, it
I don't know.
survived Ride.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I think it's okay. I think that IP is okay.
Yeah, so that's what's interesting is that's the only one I can think of and that I want.
Yeah,
For
Skylanders
Activision.
ain't coming back.
Yeah. I can't think of another franchise that they need to revitalize.
I think Guitar Hero would be hard to bring back.
No,
Yeah.
they tried.
Yeah.
They
I know
tried.
they tried.
I think they should have waited longer, maybe. I don't know,
it's-
man.
What
you
else
can't.
do they
You
own?
can't. It's over.
Yeah.
It
It
is
was-
hard
it was
to
a time and
remember what
place.
Activision owns.
It's very little these days. Oh, and part of the reason they were down, excuse me, I should have said this, is there was no Destiny revenue. And they kind of predicted that. They said,
Destiny,
look, they said
right.
2019 is going to be a light year to their investors because they had lost Destiny. And so, yeah, in 2020, that's why they're saying, hey, we'll have more announcements. We'll have things coming in. Because, yeah, they just flat out lost Destiny.
Didn't Activision used to make a bunch of Spider-Man games?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just trying to think like, where have I seen that logo?
Yeah, I think, so what's interesting, I think Beanox made a lot of those,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Beanox made Crash Team Racing. Isn't that cool?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously Spider-Man's in better hands now.
Different hands.
Better.
Better hands, yeah, sorry.
Do they still
Sorry,
have like
Beanox.
Ninja Turtles and Avatar.
I don't think they do, but it seems like Activision can pick those up whenever they want.
Just scoop them up.
Yeah, right? Like it's just,
Transformers as well.
yeah, right? Like they just had Transformers. We're just going to make this game, then we're done with it.
Yeah.
We'll just make Sekiro. It's good, and we're done.
They didn't make
It's so weird. I can't predict this company. I have no idea what those other remasters and reimaginings could be.
Tenchu
I wonder-
Activision?
From Software has that,
From
I think.
who published that?
Oh, they published it here.
Yeah, because
They published Sekiro.
did
there.
Sekiro actually start as conversations about Tenchu?
That's what I heard. I don't know.
Yeah.
We asked him about Tenchu, and he was like, no. He's like, yeah, I'm thinking about that, but we didn't. He's
Must
like,
be nice.
I didn't make this to be a Tenchu something.
Sure,
but
yeah.
of course I'm thinking about it because
Yeah.
he's like, I love that game. I
Creeping
remember
on
that. That was
rooftops.
fun,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if the success of Call of Duty Mobile will spark more mobile initiatives. Like, do you
Oh,
get
for sure.
like a Crash Endless Runner or Crash Racing?
Wait,
Mario
Ben, do
Kart
you know?
2? I don't know.
So Activision owns King Games, and just earlier
right.
tonight we had a leak from a King Games developed Crash Endless Runner.
I mean that.
I was
so
just guessing that.
obvious.
Are you pulling my chain?
Not even pulling your
Whoa,
chain,
yanking
dude.
the chain.
Thursdays, bro.
Yeah, and so yeah, it's nice being on Thursdays. Ben, just images, but you can basically see the uploads they put on the store, and it is the newer Crash Bandicoot model, just being a little Endless Runner buddy, just kind
Kyle,
of
I swear I
choosing
did
3 lanes.
not know that.
But hey, great prediction.
There
Ben.
we go.
Yes,
Predicted? True.
Yeah.
Love those.
that's what's fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Look
it's,
out, Michael Huber.
and it's kind of interesting because they bought King a while ago, and it's been making the money. That's Candy Crush, right? But
Kyle, I forgot that I owned King Games because I don't play any King Games.
Neither do I, and that's saying something.
yeah,
Has there been Candy Crush 2?
Yeah.
okay. Thank you,
Okay.
Jones.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay,
you,
I had
bud.
no idea. 3?
I don't.
There's like
think
a saga,
don't
Candy
think we
Crush
got-
Saga.
Time to
The
add a
first
new
game is
number.
called Saga.
Where's
the original
Candy
game is called
Crush
Candy Crush Saga.
Arc System Fighter?
Yeah.
I'd play it
I'd
coming.
play it
Time to
too.
collab.
Can you double check too for me? I'm curious.
because the thing is they just keep
I
adding
answered
to
way
them,
too fast on that
right?
one.
They just keep adding to their games. They don't want sequels. It seems.
Yeah, they're not like Angry Birds is like Star Wars and Transformers and they.
Angry Birds messed up.
I don't know.
Yes.
They all did things differently.
Yeah.
I
That's
love
where
Angry
Zombies
Birds,
waited
dude.
like 10 years to do a sequel.
Where's Angry Birds now,
There's
Brad?
Angry Birds 2, I
Angry
think.
Birds is doing fine.
Haven't they had? Isn't
Angry Birds
there
made
a
a
second
movie
movie
man. Where's
coming
the Candy
out?
Crush movie.
Second movie's out, Brad. How
Oh, was
do,
it?
dude?
I don't know. Probably okay.
Probably okay.
Like China probably did fine.
I just hated the trailers because it was like, and now a third kind of bird. And they're
I'm
like
Bill
eagles.
Hader. I'm a pig. Yeah.
Bill Hader's in that movie?
Yeah, I
He
think
is-
he's the
and he
pig.
is the
yeah.
pig.
Oink oink.
Not a fair impression though.
No, I don't know how to do a Bill Hader
There's
impression.
Candy Crush Soda Saga, Candy Crush Jelly Saga, Candy Crush Friends Saga.
Oh.
Yeah, they don't.
Dude.
I don't think they
I
let
never
you
got
do
a
direct
two,
sequels.
okay.
Yeah.
Candy Crush Tony Hawk Saga.
Yeah.
That's a good crossover.
Yeah.
That's a good crossover.
Bro, crush the
We've
candy.
said the word saga too much, so now they're gonna sue our ass.
Whoa,
Yeah.
sick Candy Crush.
Sick nose grind on that candy.
And they have been known to sue video games for trying to put the word saga in their titles. It's not a joke.
Whoa, 900 Crush.
Good crush, dude. I want to talk about Ubisoft. Also down big. But again, they predicted that because they delayed a
Yeah.
bunch of games out
Yeah.
of the year. So it's like we're aware of this. We're just
Fiscal.
They wanted it. They're having the pity party over there.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna
I
come
wonder
back strong.
How is the Division 2 doing now?
still not too good. I think if they're not bragging about it, I think it's not good, right?
Probably if they're not bringing it up, yeah.
Yeah. I think they're not even. Yeah, I wonder what the effort will be to.
Like, this is the time to
resuscitate
flaunt.
that. Here's the exciting part about this one. Okay, ready? So, Ubisoft says we are very excited about the idea of releasing 5 new AAA games in 2020 to 2021. Now, thank you again, GamesIndustry.biz. 3 are going to be Gods and Monsters,
Right.
Rainbow Six Quarantine,
Oh yeah.
and Watch Dogs Legion. That leaves 2 more games.
Assassin's Creed
Viking,
and Mario and Rabbids 2.
So we could have a really fun time guessing on the podcast, right?
I think, I mean,
What do you mean? We got
Splinter
them all.
Cell has to be coming.
So
I feel like people have been saying that for like
Yeah.
4 years.
I know. I feel
He's
like I've
coming
been saying
back!
that. I know.
we could have a great time guessing, but Jason Schreier knows what the 2 games
Oh,
are.
jeez.
So at Jason Schreier says anyone
He
holding
loves
out
ripping Ubisoft, man.
anyone holding out hope for Splinter Cell is once again going to be disappointed.
Oh my
Sorry,
God.
it's Assassin's Creed and Far Cry.
Scrub.
So
Oh, okay.
you don't have to wonder. No wonder.
Far Cry
Oh
existed.
yeah.
What's
Far
going
Cry's
on?
ready to go.
What do you mean?
Just make a Splinter Cell game.
Yeah.
Just do it.
They don't know how to
Instead,
do it, man.
another Far Cry
They're
mean,
like
dude,
stealth
Far Cry
games don't
5
sell.
sells well. It does.
It was a raging volcano, man. That game was
Yeah.
out of control. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Jones, we also had another new
Cry's doing great.
We had a new Far Cry
Ubisoft's
game.
doing great. That's what surprised me about how like angry they are at themselves.
I really hope they shake up Far Cry though.
Yeah,
Like-
me too.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy is they're trying as hard as they can to shake up. They're like,
Please
okay,
do.
we're gonna. It's neon colors, post-apocalypse. It's crazy. We got saw blades. And
That's
we're
a
just like,
soft shake. No,
Soft
that's a
shake,
soft
yeah. I
shake.
want hard
That's
shake.
a shakedown.
But they're
dude.
trying as hard as they can. I don't know.
Well, they
like-
want the best of both worlds. They
Yeah.
want the main series to resonate on an emotional level, and then they show up later with the goofy goof.
Yeah.
With the New Dawn, with the crazy, powder grenades and.
You're right.
a
New Dawn
Primal,
wasn't a
which
number. Yeah.
I think was probably DLC.
Does Far Cry
originally.
resonate on an emotional level?
They try to.
They
Yeah, they
try.
do.
5
Oh, okay.
definitely tried to.
Especially, I would tell you the meaning
Grading
of.
Oh,
these
yeah.
exams.
And the
they
guy
try.
from 4?
Yeah, they try for sure.
You could just beat the game
Yeah.
by doing what he says.
Yeah.
Man, I completely forgot that series existed.
They were.
Yeah.
I wanted. Yeah. More. Go back to 4.
The thing
you were,
is-
you were close. You had it.
I had a lot of fun with Far Cry 5, and like, I don't know, it's a meal you'll enjoy.
Sure.
But it's just not. I don't get jazzed about it. I want to get jazzed. I want to be like, oh man, because that's how Far Cry 3 felt, and Far Cry 2 was crazy, but Far Cry 3 like just resonated with so many people because it was like, oh, this is a direction that you're going in.
What if they go back to the jungle? What if they go do something super weird?
Oh, like Far
the
Cry.
future.
Far Cry.
Or
Far-
like, what
Yeah.
if they like, yeah.
Like Far Cry 1, Far Cry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you, Jones. I don't know how to shake that thing up. But hey, as you're saying, Jones, it was a volcano. How do you say like this was a huge success? Like, how do you say do better? I don't know.
And they're always
Here's the
different.
thing, though. Ubisoft has a lot of boring volcanoes.
Wow. If you see a volcano every day,
Yeah.
You're right.
They've got a lot of boring volcanoes.
Erupting again.
Ben, that's fair, man.
What goes back to the editorial thing? Like all their games are like kind of the same game in a weird way.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
I love them all.
So really,
They're fun.
Yeah.
interesting detail is that 3 of those AAA releases will launch within the window of September 2020 to December 2020. So this fall season, basically this holiday season. So 3 of those games will be that, and the remaining 2 will be between January and March of 2021.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
You know what Ubisoft did that was cool? Was For Honor, at least.
Yeah.
That was something weird and cool and different.
For Honor's
Shout
still
out.
making money.
And it's still making money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought they were displeased with its
Maybe.
performance.
I think it's still going,
I
though.
think maybe
Were they?
initially, Ian, I think that's
Oh,
one where
okay.
they just kept
Siege
breathing
is
into
It
killing
it.
had
it.
legs.
Yeah, it's Siege. Yeah.
That is
I thought
something
Odyssey
that-
was really
yeah.
impressive. Origins was a good change up.
Ubisoft has really nailed is keeping things alive somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rabbids is a good call, but what about Beyond Good and Evil? Is that just like
So
is that like Dreams, where it's just like that'll be the end of the gen?
Yeah, Beyond,
Like-
Beyond Good and Evil will
That
not
seems-
be
yeah.
out within the next year.
Yeah,
Within
cool.
the next 12 months, no Beyond Good and Evil.
Hopefully we see it
No
again.
Skull and Bones. Don't tell Don. It's just not happening for at least another year.
I always
Oh, yeah,
forget about that.
2021,
Yeah.
right?
yeah.
Wow.
I feel like that's one, if it's that far out, they shouldn't have shown it so
I think
early.
that game changed dramatically probably
Maybe.
from what they were going
I think
for.
that initially it was going to just be like fun multiplayer pirate battles, and then they saw reaction to Sea of Thieves and were like, it needs to be more, and then they're like doing an actual game
Yeah,
now,
pirate
like a
game.
story game, yeah.
So my guess would be Assassin's Creed, Rainbow Six, Quarantine, and Watch Dogs for this September to December, and then the year after that, Gods of Monsters and this unannounced Far Cry. That'd be my guess. And
Cool.
we've, yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
Gods and Monsters.
Hope the
definitely
best
feels
for
far
Man,
away.
if Gods
Yeah.
and Monsters is this year, we got to see more soon.
It's what's so
E3,
funny
baby.
is when they announced it, they're like, hey, this is super early. Don't worry
Yeah.
about this stuff. And so,
Right.
yeah.
was that last year or the year before?
It's just last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Far Cry typically doesn't have too much of a lead on advertising. They
Never.
tend
You're
to
right,
show up
Jones,
the same
yeah.
year. Tends
Yeah.
to be like a 6 to 8 month situation, and then bam, it
Yeah.
happens.
So Ubisoft E3 is going to be awesome, actually.
Yeah, it could be sick.
I hope so.
Could be.
Yeah.
I agree.
I'm into that.
Please be sick.
You all hear that?
Oh.
Well, it sounds like it's podcast halftime!
Support for Easy Allies is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-belt grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. That's why Manscaped has redesigned the electric trimmer. The Manscaped engineering team spent 18 months perfecting the greatest ball hair trimmer ever created, and just released the new and improved Lawnmower 3.0. What's that? What's right, Ben? What? Okay. The third generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to prevent manscaping accidents. Millions of balls are about to be nick-free thanks to Manscaped's advanced skin-safe technology. Manscaping accidents are finally a thing of the past. When I tell you that this is premium, I mean premium. The battery will last up to 90 minutes, so you can take a longer shave. One of the coolest features is the LED light, which illuminates grooming areas for a closer and more precise trimming. They've also upgraded to a 7,000 RPM motor with quiet stroke technology, trademark. And let's not forget about the charging stand. Show your mower off loud and proud because this intelligently designed stand is a rapid charging dock powered by USB. If you are listening to me speak right now, you are one of the first people to hear about this life-changing product, and I want you to experience it firsthand for yourself. Trim that junk of yours, get 20% off and free shipping with the code ALLIES at manscaped.com. Your balls will thank you. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code ALLIES at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use code ALLIES. Thrilled to be bringing these sponsors in, Kyle. Thrilled to just kind of make way for products like Manscaped to come in.
Jones,
and talk over you and just steal all of the thunder. And then it doesn't matter. I don't know what it is. I don't know what you got coming up, but I know all of our listeners will be thinking about this when you're talking about whatever you're about to talk about.
Except, of course, to any of our patrons who, if you're a patron on EasyAllies.com, you get a version which unfortunately has no advertisements.
Oh, right. Yeah. If you're a patron of Easy Allies, thank you.
Plug it, man. Plug it. Why not? Okay. What was that? Oh, got it.
The problem is I didn't have time. I didn't have
I
time
thought you were
to
singing a song.
because last week's I actually tried out their products. I didn't have time.
Okay.
This is something you got to schedule in advance, and so
What's it sound like though?
I don't know actually.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't really honestly do it very well.
All right.
Yeah, four of us would have to do it at the same time to really
Yeah.
I want to talk about
surround
this.
sound.
It's got 4 engines.
This is
7,000 RPMs.
crazy thing happened this week. Platinum, video game developer.
Yeah.
They make a lot of very good video games.
Yes.
They make a lot of wild video games. It's not always a home run, but there's always something there with
Yes.
Platinum's games, Early this week, they put up a website, a URL, if you will, advertising the Platinum 4. Wow. 4 new game announcements. I mean, it's not quite Ubisoft's 5, but it's still 4 from one game studio. Whoa. And all we can do is wonder, wow, what's this going to be? Game Explained had a rumor that Wonderful 101 would be getting a Kickstarter. That turned out to be true. That was number 1
True
of the
scoop.
Platinum 4.
Number 1.
So Wonderful 101 is a Wii U launch title that kind of flopped. This is a game developed by Platinum in which there's 101 heroes who kind of like make
It's
a
the
fist
Wonderful
together?
100. You are the one.
me.
You, Kyle Bossman.
Whoa.
As I tap the screen, I'm 101.
Or using the analog sticks, yes.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ben, I know very little about this game.
It is, Kyle, in response to this announcement, I re-downloaded it on Wii U.
Sure.
Dove back in, and I was like, my goodness, this game has charm for days. It has ideas for days. Like, this game will pop off. Man,
So,
people will understand.
Ben, what I was surprised by, so the Kickstarter, I'm sorry, I should have said, for Wonderful 101 Remastered is to bring it to modern platforms, the Switch, the PC, and the PlayStation 4. The initial stretch goal, the original goal to bring it to Switch was $50,000, which I'm sure they thought they could do, and that's kind of the point, build some momentum. It is currently at $1.4 million US. So yeah, the PC version's coming and the PS4 version is coming. And so that money came quick. I don't know how much of that is Wonderful 101 fans or Platinum fans, simply people who are just encouraged to see a Kickstarter like this for a failed game to have a second life into it. But a pretty big story this week, I think.
That's the crazy thing about it, right? Like, if it failed on Wii U, which didn't have that huge of an audience to begin with, like, you're kind of like, where is all the support coming from? But it just has to be people that are Platinum fans and decided not to buy a Wii U or word of mouth or whatever it is. But it's awesome.
Let's just kickstart that whole Wii U library. You know what I mean? Let's just try again.
The thing is, there's not much left.
There isn't much left. That's true.
There's some stuff left.
There's 2 Zelda games.
There's some stuff left.
What? No. Yes.
Oh, there's one.
I won't hear
there's
it.
One very prominent one. Yeah. That I think should probably get a remaster.
What, Skyward
I've never
Sword?
played it. Yeah, never touched
That's
Skyward
not a
Sword
Wii U
for a
game,
second.
though.
That's a Wii game, right?
Was that on Wii, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about Twilight Princess Wind Waker.
Those are already remasters.
I don't care.
You
Put
wanna
them on the
remaster?
goddamn Switch.
You got Mario 3D World.
Yeah.
You got Xenoblade Chronicles X.
Yes.
Fair. Okay.
That's all I can remember.
I think it's. I think we're down to like 5 or fewer. I mean, like Fire Emblem Fae came out. Hashtag Fae.
Did you say Fae?
Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
Yeah, Tokyo Mirage
Sharp
Sessions.
FE, bro.
Hashtag Fae.
Sharp FE.
Sharp FE, bro.
It came out, right? And so
Yeah.
like a lot of these games that I never thought would actually even get ported have. And so crazy that this needed to be a Kickstarter. Crazy that Nintendo had no interest in it. It was like, you do it. And they said, okay, we'll do it. And they have succeeded. There will be a Steam and PS4 version of this game as well.
Great.
Yeah, neat.
Do you think Fatal Frame will show up on Switch?
It
Ooh, that's a
better,
good one.
dude.
That's
It
add it to the
better.
list. Add it to the list.
Fatal Frame.
The Switch is like a camera.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer.
I don't think you want to play like that though.
You
Yes.
can't. You know that they'll make you
I mean,
play
that's
like
that's
that.
how Fatal Frame 5 basically played with the gamepad. You
Yeah.
moved it around.
I want it to at least be an option that I can ignore.
Maybe it's during parts, right? But like
Yes.
put your two hands in front of you for more than 3 minutes. It's like, oh, my arms are heavy now. It's like you can't.
Yeah, I'm sure that I just mean they'll make it an option.
You're right. Yeah.
Like
yeah.
investigation areas or something
Yeah,
where
just
you find the clue or like defend yourself from attacking. others.
Devil's Third.
Nice. Put it on the list.
Devil's Third.
Devil's Third has
the
not been
list.
ported.
Just because.
Here's the thing, though. You can't make a Devil's Third Kickstarter and make $1.4 million.
At this point, I don't know.
Yeah.
You could probably make 500,000.
You think so?
No, 300,000.
Dude, I'd struggle to make 25K.
Here's how you pitch it though. You get Tomonobu Itagaki up there, and he's
Yeah.
like, "This is the Devil's Third I wanted to make. 1 mil,
Yeah.
500K."
New look, new sunglasses.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I do
And he's
think...
like, I'm putting Ryu in it.
Yeah,
Done. And if he's like, if this does well, maybe I'll come back to Ninja Gaiden.
I'm putting Ryu and Rio.
I was just gonna say,
in
why
it.
not? Why not both?
Why not both? I do think...
$1 million.
I think... I mean, I'm looking through this. I feel like Platinum just has an attitude about their studio. Right? I
Oh, they
think
have a
people just
prestige.
like them. Yeah.
Oh,
and-
people
sure.
love them.
Well, there's nothing to dislike about Wonderful 101 other than its sales. That's it. Like, did that game anger anybody?
No.
Did that?
No.
It just flew under the radar. It didn't sell very well. It's like that's
Unoffensive, Jones.
that's not a reason to like hate a game. And so it's like a classic underdog story. I wonder if the 50K was them like, we know we're gonna make more than 50K, but
Yeah.
we wanted the story's not how much money we made, it's how much more money we made than did we asked for.
It's part of it.
You know?
Yeah.
So I wonder if they kept like drawing it, but 50K? It's like, oh,
Yeah.
we're gonna be 50K in an hour.
Yeah.
It's like, well, yeah,
And they
but
did. Yeah.
The
people
thing
are
that's
gonna write about us.
the
That
thing
ECA
that's-
podcast is gonna be talking about this.
The thing that's funny about that is like if they had hit 50K and then topped out, like that's nowhere near enough money to do this.
Doesn't feel like it. Yeah.
You know? No,
No.
nowhere near.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just to help.
Unless it would have literally just been like an up-res skin, or something. I don't know.
Right. The other thing that I guess is part of the story worth mentioning is that very recently Tencent, one of the largest businesses in this world, largest
Skynet.
companies, injected some money very recently into Platinum. Platinum's rich suddenly. Ooh. And so it's
Yeah,
like
we don't know how much.
That's
right?
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like they had to have had an outside backer, and this is just like
put him over the hump.
for walking around money. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's kind
Just
of
gonna
the
blow
case.
it all on hats.
What?
Sorry.
Like Team Fortress hats?
It's over my head, that one.
You know, you
That's
were
a movie
talking
quote.
about
That's up for the comments. Someone will get it.
Gotcha.
like just people liking Platinum.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about Ubisoft and their boring volcanoes. Immediately, like in the first 10 minutes of playing Wonderful 101, it makes you happy that you play video games.
Cool.
And I feel like that's kind of the vibe that Platinum gives off. Like when they're at their best, you're like, oh, this is why I like games. Like it has that energy. Like they're excited that you get to do this stuff that they made.
And it's intangible. It's hard to
Yes,
capture that.
It is. It
Even their
is.
Transformers game had that. I played that at E3 and had a wonderful time when
Yeah.
I played it. Not a wonderful 101 time.
Not even close.
Kyle, what is Platinum known for?
Action.
I've learned over years that action fans are some of the most vocal and passionate fan bases around.
Yes.
They're putting their money where their mouth is, man.
I
They're making
think
it
that's
happen.
true. Yeah.
I think that is
They
absolutely
have a
true.
very, very hardcore fan base. And I think if you look at the stretch goals, what's left to come, one of them was a speedrunner's dream. Like they're kind of targeting their hardcore fan base.
Yeah.
Wait, They've teased what the other announcements are.
Yeah, so Time Attack is
for the stretch goals.
when they hit a million.
I thought you were saying for the Platinum 4.
Not the rest of the Platinum 4. No. So yeah, the Time Attack is a speedrunner's dream. Luca's first mission if they get to 1.5 mil, they probably will. No, with a K, Luca with a K, sadly. And then 1.75 a remixed soundtrack featuring a secret special guest. I think they're going to hit 1.75 when I read that, actually.
Oh, they for sure do.
They came into this with a lot of confidence that I did not have in them, which turned out to be earned. But I don't know if you're hitting 1.75, my friends.
I think that's the other thing about Platinum is that confidence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Kamiya.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Trickle down confidence.
You guys made some crazy good games.
Think about how unique that man's presence is on Twitter. Like,
It's part of the Kickstarter.
Yeah.
They're aware of it.
Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
I also think this is a safe Kickstarter because it's not like a sequel to it's not like Shenmue 3 where people are like, where's the story going? It's like they just have to bring this game back to people, bring it to other platforms, make it pretty.
Exactly.
And I'm not saying, again, don't do more than that because obviously they've made way more than they were expecting to. But I think even that will please people.
Because it feels like it's been a while since we've had a huge Kickstarter success. And I do think that this one just feels so assured that even people burned by Kickstarter, they feel confident that this is going to be a nice product.
It's almost like they're saying, we deserve better. And everyone's like, yes, you do.
We believe in you.
Did Bayonetta 1 and 2 get on the Switch?
Yes,
did.
both.
Okay.
One pack.
And then there's that Bayonetta Vanquish collection coming, I think, next month. Crazy stuff. Oh, that's Bayonetta 1, though, isn't it?
Bayonetta
Yeah,
1.
because
Just
Bayonetta
one.
2 is only on... Okay. This is episode 200. This is the final episode for this week in Joker News. Unfortunately, we cannot continue the segment into episode 201.
He won awards, so
Yeah,
it's going
so
in hiding.
this will be the last one.
It's going to win Best Picture.
So earlier this week...
Might.
Oh, this one's just wrong. So I think we all know that the Joker's been tweeting about how Birds of Prey is too feminist and not sexy enough.
Right.
So Warner Brothers invited the Joker to a private screening. When he walked out, he said, "I'm sorry. That was actually very sexy. Now I'm horny." Yeah, baby, yeah.
Wasn't that an Onion article?
No, that's real. And what's crazy is that last part, it's leading a lot of people to hypothesize that maybe Austin Powers is the Joker.
Do you mean Austin Powers or Mike Myers?
Austin Powers might
Mike
be the
Myers
Joker.
just played him in the movies.
Right.
Yeah.
But obviously we will have no way of knowing because of all the makeup and the segment's dead. We'll never find out the identity of the
CG
Joker.
faces.
Yeah.
Time
Now that you
travel's
say
involved
that,
somehow.
it makes a lot of sense.
Joker's been very horny.
Yeah. And he kept talking about Mojo. Remember when he kept talking about Mojo?
Yes, now
For
I
like
do.
remember
that
that?
was so weird
Remember
at the
that?
time. Yes.
It was an archaic turn of phrase. We were like, why is he talking about Mojo? all
I
of
thought
a
it was
sudden?
just another one of Joker's weird tricks.
Yeah.
Huh. All right.
He's
well,
mentally ill, though. Either way.
segment's over. It's now time for love and respect.
Love and respect. So that means no more Joker memes?
Yeah.
Thank God, dude.
I'm afraid so.
It's been
dude.
going on for way too long.
They cannot live past the 200th episode of any podcast. It's simply the way podcasts work, I guess.
Good.
Yeah.
Let him rest.
Let the man rest. I think he's Austin Powers, though.
Might be.
Hey, Allies.
baby.
Public. Hey, Allies. Not a question. Just wanted to say thanks for all your work and content. I've worked as a lab technician in a toxicology lab for almost 3 years and always have your podcasts and videos in the background while I work. I recently have been accepted into an osteopathic medicine program for this fall. Thanks for keeping me sane and for all the enjoyment you all have given me over the years. Love and respect, Dexter K.
Thanks,
Hey,
Dexter.
nice.
Good job, Dexter.
I like to read the nice ones every
That
once in a while.
reminds me
Science!
of Dexter's Lab.
Yeah.
I love a good Dexter who works in a
Same
lab.
guy.
Same guy.
Same
Same guy.
The other Dexter worked in a lab too. Blood splatter.
Yeah.
Murder Dexter.
And
Murder
Dexter
Dexter.
from The Offspring. I think he was
He
smart
worked in
too.
a lab. He had
Yeah,
a
he
lab.
definitely had a lab.
Yeah. A beat lab.
Those Dexters are smart.
Let's play a game. Hi, Allies. I'm back. 100 podcasts later to submit the second edition of Know Your Podcast. The rules are simple. I provided a quote from one of the allies that occurred during the podcast, and you have to guess who said it. Congratulations, by the way. You're all doing amazing work, and you've made it very easy to support you throughout the years. Love and respect, Monkey D. Luffy.
Oh, thanks, Luffy.
Thank you, Luffy.
Thank you.
Okay, so this is episode 200. No quote from here, but episode 190. This one's easy. I think a lot of problems with the new Star Wars trilogy are JJ's fault more than Ryan Johnson's.
Ian?
Michael Damiani.
That's got to be me.
That's Ian.
Yeah,
That's
that's
Ian.
Ian.
Oh.
For sure.
I wasn't wrong.
Yeah.
Uh,
It was your final word. None of us could say a thing about it.
oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I cut this damn show. I should know that.
Yeah. All right. Episode 180. I think Twitter should put "I think" on the front of every tweet. I think ... It just automatically does it. If you want to use Twitter, that's the way it works. You cannot make any declarative statements. Jones is owning up to that one. That
Yeah,
is
it's me.
Brandon. It was during Love and Respect submission focusing on game difficulty preferences, and the conversation fluidly shifts to people's personal opinions in general.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Still.
People hold me to that on Twitter too. They're like, "Don't you mean I think?" I'm like, I do. You're right.
Isn't that like implied though when you're writing a
Everything
tweet?
everyone
Nothing
says
in the
is
world
their
is
own
ever
opinion.
implied.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are there to declare, dude. I think a lot of people are there on Twitter like,
Yeah.
this is the way it is.
But it's a statement
Don't take
on
the bait.
Well, it's a statement on them that they
Yeah.
think that they can
Yeah,
state things as facts.
We're
you know?
forcing the "I think" on them.
Yeah.
Just chill
Well,
out,
we
Twitter.
can just look at them and say like, all right,
Okay.
Yeah.
all right, opinion boy.
Episode 170. Contra to me is a series that works better 2D and keeps it simple.
Me.
When you're getting ridiculous with these pandas going in 3D shooters and it just doesn't work, I like twin stick shooters and everything. But this especially, it looks like butt. It looks
Brad.
bad. That's Brad.
Yeah, that's right.
By
This
the
is
way,
fun to go by tens because it makes you like remember how time, you know?
yeah,
'Cause that's like 30 weeks ago.
30 weeks ago.
Feels so long ago.
Brad, that was your toaster strudel and my Pop-Tart. We're talking about
Yeah,
Rogue
that was
Core.
your Pop-Tart.
Yeah, it was a
That's
bad
right.
Pop-Tart. It was a bad one. I got to own up to that. That was a nasty one. That was a pretzel Pop-Tart. Okay, 160, episode 160. I don't think it's going to be Half-Life 3. I think Valve is in a position where they could make something brand new, something that doesn't have the legacy tied to it, but still has Valve attached to it, and that would work.
Michael Huber.
Huber?
Ben.
Me.
Oh.
I was thinking either me or Hubert.
Ben, you're talking about potential games for the Valve Index.
Yeah.
Half-Life.
That was
that
correct.
pre-Alex?
Yeah, it wasn't Half-Life 3.
Wow.
All right. It's kind of correct.
It's correct.
It's
No,
kind
it's
of
just
correct.
not Half-Life 3.
It doesn't have a 3 on
There's
it.
a 3 on it.
Correct.
Unless the E
How
is
is it
like,
not
or no, it's
correct?
a Y.
Since
yeah.
I think Valve is in a position where they can make something brand new.
Oh, okay.
Something that doesn't have the legacy tied to it.
Oh, okay.
Well,
I
yeah.
was
It's
misconstruing my
right
own
and wrong
quote.
at the same time.
Well, no, you're not incorrect that they couldn't have done it.
Right,
You-
right,
they
right.
were
But
in a
what they
position
did-
to-
Okay.
yeah.
I thought I was saying that they would do a Half-Life that wasn't Half-Life 3.
I was thinking about this the other day, though. They promised that there would be a trailer at the Game Awards, and there wasn't, and we haven't seen anything
Dude,
since.
Keely got snubbed.
Yeah.
Well, we don't even have a
Didn't
hard
they-
date yet.
Yeah.
Didn't they like pull it last minute or something and like upset everything?
I can probably say it wasn't last minute.
Oh, okay.
Valve gonna Valve.
But I will say I saw it on the rundown at one point. But it wasn't the last minute. Yeah. But yeah, I wonder what's going on with that thing.
That's a scoop.
No, I don't think that's not a scoop. Not a scoop.
That was a scoop.
Not a
That's
scoop.
a
I
scoop.
heard that from someone
boss scoop.
someone outside of us. So
texting
yeah,
Schreier right now.
that wasn't from.
All right. Well, I could just say it wasn't last minute. Okay. All right.
Got in the scoop mobile.
Stop that. Episode 150. I can go both ways.
Huber. Yeah.
Me.
Oh, Daniel Bloodworth.
Oh.
Oh, that's
right.
right. Oh, that's so 100% correct.
This
yes.
was when he was playing, asked whether he prefers or if he is a single or multiplayer game during the gaming game.
I
Why does
remember.
he
I
have the
remember him
best
say that.
quotes?
Yeah.
Huber's always talking
Oh my
about
God.
kissing on the lips,
Yeah,
so I for
I
sure thought it was
yeah.
Huber.
Yeah.
I thought it was Hubert. It's better that it's blood.
It's a sexy game.
I
did not
remember
hold
my
back.
reaction when he said that
It is
too.
better
yeah.
than it's blood.
It's better that it's blood.
And Blood, you know what? Did not hold back during Hump Kiss Mary. Kiss
Yeah.
Marry Kill.
Yeah, you wanted to make it.
He
hot.
married
wanna
a
make it
man.
rejected.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
We played Kiss Marry Kill last week with video game characters.
Who did Blood marry? I can't remember.
Yeah.
It was like Phoenix Wright or something.
He married some sweeties.
Yeah.
He went for the sweeties for his marriage.
Yeah.
Who are the sweeties the blood
I
switched on?
cannot remember his
He got it right. He married the right one.
The shows are posted. They're time stamped.
I cannot remember.
I'm not gonna
shows.
do that. It was last week, you guys. It's a simple question.
Dude, last week was long.
Yeah, last week was
Long,
like a week
long
ago.
Feels
time
like
ago.
40 days ago somehow. Episode 140. There you go. You'll feel better after you clean your bed sheets.
Huber.
You're not
Huber.
gonna feel
Huber.
better after playing a PlayStation Classic.
Huber.
Huber, for sure.
Michael Damiani.
Wow.
Oh.
Those mics are hanging out too much together.
So we were playing Ore Wars, and the ore was cleaning your bed sheets or buying a PlayStation Classic. And his rationale was, yeah, you'll feel better after cleaning your bed sheets.
You know, I can see Damiani
Yeah.
saying that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yo, new sheets.
Calling them
Very good
bed
Damiani.
sheets repeatedly is like depraved sounding to me.
Bed sheets, I know, just sheets.
It's they're sheets.
Just say sheets. What
Bed
kind of
sheets.
sheets do you have?
Bed sheets makes you sound like a Victorian serial killer or something.
Why is
Bed
a Victorian
sheets.
person serial killer?
Remove the bed
Remove
sheets.
the bedclothes.
Episode 130. I do heavily subscribe to Fashion Souls. It becomes
That's
very
Huber.
important to me as the journey goes on.
I think.
I'm willing to
No,
pay the upkeep
it's not.
costs. Who is it?
It's me or Huber, right? Or is it Ian?
It might be.
I have no idea.
I love
actually,
Fashion Souls.
This is fun.
Damiani again?
We have no idea, huh?
It might be. Brad.
Ben, it's you.
Oh.
I'm willing to pay the upkeep costs. That's you. I like
yeah, I
that.
wouldn't say that part.
It was we were playing Recruit Me, and the bridge troll had a debilitating obsession with physical vanity, and so you were like, "Hey, I get it."
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't believe that troll survived in the end.
I'm actually going through that with Monster Hunter right now, trying to figure out the layered armor that I want.
balance fashion with armored stats.
Buff, baby. Buff armor.
Buff armor.
Episode
Ian knows.
120. I don't have a dragon. I don't have one yet. But what I do have is I have contacts. I have several friends, predominantly in the South Pacific Rim, and they're in possession of dragons.
Dawn.
This sounds like Don, dude.
Yeah.
I miss doing those so bad.
Yeah.
I miss doing those. Man, Don isn't here on Thursdays, so we can't even do that segment.
Well, we haven't
anymore.
done it since the studio, since the garage.
Right, so
There
it's
was a
moving-
predominant garage vibe, I think, for those bits.
If he was here on Tuesday nights, we could still do it, right? But I think it's really the Thursday thing is why we've lost our Don.
You say context in the South Pacific. That is Don.
Yeah.
Yes.
For sure.
Way
Yeah.
too specific.
Right. So I love doing those. I'd be like, Don, here's the reason why you can't come. It's this and this and this. And then he just layers in these details. It's so fun. Okay. 110. I'm just not into lying. And for that reason, I'm out.
Wow, and
Huber.
for that reason.
That is Michael Huber.
Yeah.
The thing was,
the purity.
this was after we played And For That Reason, and we did the objective immediately after that. But he did not like doing the objective. And so he said that for that reason, I'm out to doing the
that's
objective.
Huber, dude.
Love that. Episode 101.
The wonderful.
Was me. Also, with the clones thing, they can go into the incinerator, they get burned up, and their DNA is funneled down into a thing. Then it's like, play again, and if you say yes, that genetic material, the toddler just comes out on a conveyor belt on the side of the machine. So, that dead thing becomes the toddler. It's a cycle. The cycle of hoops, baby.
Are you talking about Clone Wars?
No.
Is that you?
No, but baby would be, I would see that being
is
me, yeah.
not you.
Damiani?
I don't know.
There's only one other baby sayer here.
Oh, Ian.
Yeah.
Is that me?
Yeah. So we were brainstorming ideas.
Baby Sayer.
It was and for that reason. It was a pitch about a basketball game where you control babies as
right.
the players.
I
And Ian just
remember
went
that.
off on it. It was just a really good
I'm
idea.
amazed that that's not you.
That game would have been sick.
That game, yeah.
That game would have been very, very good. The circle of hoops, baby. Oh,
The circle of hoops,
cycle of hoops.
baby.
Excuse me. I love that.
Because I was like, blood? And you said baby, and I'm like, no.
I could go
not
both
Bloodworth.
ways. It was the best one.
Super
I can
bloodworth.
go both ways.
Okay.
Cause like he'd say it and like that wouldn't. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, like, does he
Taco.
know even?
Taco.
Taco.
Does Blood know that
He knows
he's,
a little bit.
that
but
he's
not-
doing a double entendre? Yes.
When he said, like, does he know before saying it, or does he realize what he's done right after saying it?
No, I think he knows
Nah,
before.
He knows.
He just
Alright,
doesn't know
knows.
the extent. He doesn't know the potency, you know?
He knows.
He hasn't seen it really all the way through. He
No,
knows
I
the
don't-
setup,
what?
but yeah.
No, he
hashtag
knows what he's
blood
doing.
knows.
He doesn't have the visual that I have in my mind.
When he says I can go both ways, he
What
does.
visual do you have in your mind?
No comment.
No, I'm afraid you got to comment. It's the 200th episode.
Bazinga.
What are you imagining Bloodworth doing?
You don't want to
Is there a jacuzzi involved?
know.
No? Well, there's for me.
Oh, okay. I imagined a jacuzzi.
Is the
at
Witcher
least.
involved?
The Witcher's
Geralt
involved.
is definitely involved.
It's a tub. It's more of a tub than a hot tub.
All right. So we got some facts about our 200th episode from Brandon K. Gon, who has written, frankly, too much and even admits as such. Says
Brandon.
just, choose the paragraphs you like. But we got some interesting facts here. One such fact is the amount of opening bits this podcast has ever had. Oh, my God. And while at episode 150, it had been 7, there was a discussion of the inclusion of the Beastie Boys raps. So if you add those, there had been 4 more. Oh, sorry, this podcast introduced 4 more. Total count of opening segments for this very podcast, 12. Glenny's Cauldron started on the 150th episode, lasted until E3, then it was replaced on 167 with the Desire Index. So now this actually marks the Desire Index's second appearance in the life of the podcast. Yeah. But in 2019, it was used. In 2019, it was used in an opener. It wasn't an opener before that. But when it was an opener, it was still like, why do they always do this? It's like, it's a different, we're doing it different. In its final appearance was episode 175. Phase 4 made a major impact on the podcast as there wasn't an opening replacement until Santa's Video Game Advisory Board on November 15th. Finally, we now have Tough Bouncers getting its start on episode 196 on January 10th.
What was your favorite opening bit so far, Kyle?
It was Recruit Me. I think Recruit Me.
Yeah.
I
Recruit
think
Me is really
by a long
the
shot.
dice roll.
Yeah.
Could just end it immediately.
Yeah, if you haven't heard any of those podcasts, again, it was just stated that they happened a long time ago. We would have people submit RPG characters that had some sort of flaw, and then we decide if we want to recruit them or not. And at the end of the podcast, we decide if they survived or died.
I liked that it had an opening and a closing.
Yeah, it was nice.
Glenny's Cauldron, I think, is my favorite.
Glenny's Cauldron had the best result.
It paid off.
The
so
Glenny's
well.
Cauldron jam's so fun.
It was incredible.
Yeah. Yeah. I love Glenny's Cauldron. Yeah, for sure. Close second. And for that reason, also, like, pretty good opening segment.
And it spun off a show.
Yeah. In fact, I think we stopped it because I was like, this could be a good show.
Yeah.
I think it had more legs in it, to be honest. Okay, so now we have something about the length. If a new listener or viewer wanted to start over at the beginning of the Easy Eyes podcast and dedicate their time to going through every Easy Eyes episode
Brandon, you
up to
animal.
this point and not click out of the video or podcast until the full time is elapsed, they would need to dedicate how many hours?
Oh, man.
300 hours.
324 hours. 325 hours, excuse me.
That, I think, is somebody sent me the time for Frame Trap, and I think that might be longer than the total time for Frame Trap.
We actually have total time for Frame Trap, which is 279 hours.
There it is.
But Ben's still very close, considering you just did episode 100 and we're on 200. Very, very close.
It's going to be like 5,000 hours. When we get to episode 200.
Keep on trucking, Ben.
Yeah, fun stuff. Honestly, too many facts. Let me do like another little sweet one.
Oh,
Little sweet.
Oh, this one's kind of interesting. Let's do this. Hey, it's just a quick one. What's your favorite cutscene in video game history?
Oh, I said that this is a hot tweet, a hot gaming tweet going
Is this
around.
a hot gaming tweet?
Yeah, it was the tweet was, what's your first... The first time a cutscene really blew you away, and a lot of people robbed Ninja Gaiden. They were just like, I'll never forget that, man. His eyes, and
Oh my God, the NES ones.
They're like,
Yeah.
I couldn't believe what I was looking at.
I need to know your favorite cutscene in video game history. For me, it was probably the ending of Little Nightmares. Cool pick. Love and respect, Nirav. Okay, what do we got, panel?
This is a tough question, Kyle.
Yeah.
A lot of good cutscenes out there.
The end of Final Fantasy VI still is. It just goes and goes and goes. And it's 30 minutes on the Super Nintendo. It's the longest ending, I think, on the console. So.
Did you call them cutscenes?
At the time, I don't know. Cinematics, I don't know.
I'll allow it. I'll allow you to call that a cutscene.
I mean, no, there's definitely stuff. There's new dialogue options, and the book appears, and little titles.
And you're not moving your character. You're simply pressing.
Oh no,
A.
you watch that game go for 30 minutes.
Okay, that's awesome.
So we're not talking...
There's a medley of all the tunes, and yeah, it's insane.
Are we talking in-game cinematics? Do those count too?
Heck yeah! What do you got?
Oh, well, the first thing that came to my mind was just the Shinra, like, Midgar Final Fantasy VII video blew my mind.
Oh, that counts. That absolutely counts.
Like, I was like, my eyes, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Like, the graphics,
Yeah.
That was the first thing that came to my mind.
For sure. Mine is Yoshimitsu's ending in Tekken 3.
I was hoping Tekken was going to get
Worth
in there.
looking up. And I think it adds a little bit if you do Dr. B, but I can't really remember. No, same ending. Same ending regardless.
Is that the Santa
yeah.
Claus one? That one's really good.
No, that is King in, I think, Tekken 2.
That's really good.
Yeah. Man, that is they're just all so good. By the way, if you get Tekken 7 for cheap on sale or something like that,
Do it.
all the cutscenes from all the Tekken games. It's so fun. It's just fun to watch. That's why I haven't gotten rid of that disc.
Yeah, so you can just pop in and
At
watch
any
those
moment, I can
endings.
just go back and watch those cutscenes. I love it to death.
Some of the Tekken 7 endings themselves are fun, too.
Yeah.
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 Mine is, the one that springs to mind is Metal Gear Solid 1, when you go into the hallway before the battle with Gray Fox and you hear like the strange whispers and you go in and you see him in stealth camouflage murdering people, the effect that had on me as a kid.
Cool.
And the build up to that boss fight. It's not even very long, but
Great build up though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is right. I love that.
I have 2.
Okay, Brad.
I got another
So
one. Actually.
one
Okay.
is the first time you see a zombie in the original Resident Evil.
Yeah.
When it turns around at you.
Oh,
good pick.
iconic.
And the second one is Aerith's death scene in Final Fantasy 7.
Sure. How many times have you watched that? You ever rewatch it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Like last week.
Oh, okay. All right.
So you're just like bouncing
Yeah.
down the
Yeah.
stairs. Yeah.
The materia bounce. That's holy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you go back and get holy way later. Is that a secret? Oh, okay. No. Okay. Beautiful. You missed a chef's kiss, listeners. Yeah, that was a chef's kiss. Yeah. It's pretty cool.
I think the here's how the Triforce was formed holds up from Ocarina of Time, where you see like those 3 beads of light
goddesses?
going,
Yeah.
like coming down to Earth,
too.
and you see like the world being forged, and like I think that cutscene knew its limitations. Like it knew how good it didn't look on the 64, and they based it a lot on color and imagery. There's not a lot of definition to it, but there doesn't need to be. And I remember like when the first time I replayed Ocarina of Time, I was like, wow, this, and it's like the first time you hear a couple themes, classic Zelda themes that come back in that cutscene. To my memory, I remember that being like, this isn't terrible.
Jones,
Considering
that's
how
such an
old
interesting
this
thing.
is. Like,
I don't even think about that when I think of Ocarina of Time, but like that's clutch, man. That cutscene
and it
actually,
takes a while.
Yeah.
It's like 6 to 8 hours into the game.
Yeah.
No,
think
that's
it's-
like at the Deku tree, dude.
No way.
No,
Yeah, I think so. He tells
No.
you about it,
Nope.
doesn't he?
You definitely go to Hyrule Castle. I think it's when Ganon grabs
Oh,
Zelda and runs
okay.
out and like knocks you over. You're
What
like,
does he tell you at the
"Whoa!" I
Deku
think you
tree?
I think you have to go to I think it's the Temple of Time that shows it to you. That's like, here's what happened. Here's how
I'm going to check this after.
specifically.
I also really like the cutscene.
What's the goddesses? And they all have their hands up and they're
Yeah.
just falling down to earth. It's really cool.
In Ocarina of Time where like Impa and Zelda are escaping and then you see Ganondorf on the horse and he rears up. Out of,
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that one I can like remember and draw. For some reason, that one hits you.
And he goes,
Intimidating.
Yeah.
Can I shout
best
out
game.
another one?
Yeah, give us another shout out.
Well, brief shout out to the live action stuff in like Seventh Guest and Mist and stuff. I love
Sure.
I love that. Or like Martian Chronicles where like the game pauses and you can see whatever. But not live action for Martian Chronicles kind of. But Silent Hill 2 has some amazing
I was thinking about
cutscenes.
Silent Hill 2 as well.
Amazing cutscenes.
It's hard to pick
Yeah, call one out. I want to
Well,
know.
I mean, the one that I first thought of, weirdly enough, was the Rebirth ending, which is not getting specific for spoiler reasons, but just like mostly just a boat, him in a boat. But like the context of what's happening is super cool. But like, I mean, the most famous one is probably the Pyramid Head introduction cutscene.
Sure.
It's intense.
Yeah, it's pretty horrifying.
But there are so many great ones in that game. Just so many great cutscenes.
That visually hold up. You know?
Yeah,
To
yeah.
this day, there's still.
pretty much anything with Maria, I feel like is good.
Yeah. Ugh, that game.
Cutscenes can be great. They really
oh my
can.
Goodness, yeah.
Yeah. Hi, allies. I wanted to remind you that this is your 200th episode. It would be nice if you did a rap song to
this from?
celebrate. Sorry?
Who's this from?
Harvell.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't hear.
Okay, I didn't say it yet. You guys do songs all the time, so I don't see why this would be a problem. Love and respect, Harvell. Okay. Jones, you seem already not into this.
How could you guess?
So just for everybody to catch up, 100th podcast, we tried to do a rap song. Jones said no. He didn't think it was funny. But I feel
you
like
tried to do a rap with us.
yes,
We didn't try to do anything.
That's what I'm saying, Jones. But we
Right.
got to 200, baby.
Kyle, did you really think after 100 podcasts?
I guess I think of Easy Allies as maybe a little more loosey-goosey than we were 100 episodes
There's nothing
ago.
loosey-goosey about just doing a rap.
No.
That's the opposite of loosey-goosey. Loosey-goosey is going to get you in trouble. You loosey-goosey a rap, you're bound to get killed.
We're not going to say the N-word. I believe any of us are not going to say the N-word if we start rapping right now.
I'm confident of that, but there's so many more layers to it.
There's so many other words you can't say. All right, we'll just do a rap about the number 200.
That's
So stupid. No.
no.
Nah.
I would rather read about
Just the number
shaving my
200?
balls.
Not really like a
than do
freestyle
rap
thing.
right
I
now.
need to like
Just
write it
something.
down.
Yeah, we could do like a manscaper rap.
No.
I'm not doing that.
That's fair.
I thank you for trying to compromise, Ben, but I'm not doing that.
No. I'm sorry, Kyle, but no.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good, dude.
I guess I'll just imagine my own rap.
Okay.
Oh, cool. Nice. 8-bit. 200 podcasts. I guess it's odd that I can applaud that and pat my own back. Pro strats only por favor. Everyone still prefers or wars or worse. A Pop-Tart hit piece or more somber tapestry. I don't know. I'm not okay. I heard what Joker did the other day. Is that a Pokemon or an animal? I'd ask Don, but he's not available. Too many bits, Nadia just can't keep up. And even Santa deleted us. That's why I call me the Dark Prince of Nerd Media. Pretty big. Pretty big. Pretty big.
All right, what's next?
From Maverick Summers, on the topic of games taking away your currency. Oh, I love this. So last week we talked about NBA 2K giving you a deficit
hold
of
on.
points.
Sorry, that was
What?
your rap?
Yeah.
You going back to the well? What are you, Ubisoft, dude?
What do you mean?
You got to reinvent like them. You can't just keep going back to the same old
I
tricks.
think that was a very inventive rap.
Man, you must love Watchtowers.
I had no, because you got to do in threes. It's not. What is that? What are you doing?
57.
Oh, dude,
That's the kind of stuff we need. That's the kind of big brain we need.
You said no to the rap. Both of you said no to the rap.
Well, if you're going to do it, at least do it good.
From Maverick Summers. Again, taking away currency. We talked about, NBA 2K gave people some money, and then they said, we gave away too much, and then they gave people negative money in their NBA 2K.
Negative money?
Why? Why?
Couldn't even throw them just a little bone?
Why?
No, yeah, they could have just flattened it out, but no, they
What
have
if they
a
put you in
deficit.
debt?
They do. So
did.
their negative money means they have to earn that much
Oh.
to start buying anything
That
new
is
in-game.
absurd.
That's even
Yes.
more than I thought.
Yes.
I thought you meant they just brought it down to zero.
Right.
Oh my God.
Negative. NBA
In the
2K
red.
is not alone.
This is why you can't be into sports.
Dude, I love video games. This is
Ben,
awesome.
it's not just sports. So from Maverick Summers, on the topic of games taking away your currency, this actually happened to one of my friends when we were playing PUBG together. The game granted a ton of players 20,000 BP for matchmaking issues. So like, okay, we had some matchmaking issues. Here's $20,000, everybody. My friend ended up spending his currency on crates. The following day, PUBG realized they over-granted currency to some players, which placed my friend in devastating BP deficit. Devastating.
That's phrasing.
Are you in BP deficit? Call this number now.
Yeah.
This
Call
happened.
JG Wentworth. 877 BP now.
So this happened in November of 2018, and he still doesn't have a positive BP. Wow. For reference, winning a solo game nets you 800 BP, and
It's gonna be
kills and
hard to go
damage
along with
also
that.
adds on top of that.
Isn't that one of the major talking points in this year's presidential election? Is returning currency to all of the people who have deficits in these online communities?
Stop.
And I know it's controversial, but if you think about it, if we all just kind of reset at zero, and then you think about the next year and then the next year.
Jones, I'm not ready to do a year of election jokes. I'm not prepared for that, man. We cannot start now. We
What do you want, like Andrew Yang for it or something?
That's what I rescind.
Some NBA bucks?
I'm not ready for these jokes. We just wrapped up the Joker jokes. They're gone. You're just putting these ones right in my face.
Gap.
Okay, time for bets. Next week's bet. Talked about the Wonderful 101 Remastered Kickstarter. Let me get the exact current number it's at, actually. Let me be precise.
exact.
Let's get exact. $1,450,000 It's just pumping out right now. Look at that live. This is fun. Kickstarter's fun.
Kickstarter is fun.
Watch the
The
numbers
way that
go
you
up.
said that, it's just pumping up right now.
That's Huber.
$1,428,304 US is where they're at right now.
Chunk of change.
Okay. What will that number be at this point next week? Brandon Jones.
1.7.
Ben Moore.
6 billion USD.
Yeah.
I respect.
I do respect
respect
that.
the hell out of that.
Yeah.
Brad.
1.7.
Yeah,
That's right, Jones.
1.56.
Oh.
You're going real low on that.
What? How we?
Ian Hink.
2 milli, baby.
Oh, no.
Okay. Let me lock that in. Nervous about my bet, Jones?
I'm nervous about Ian. I think
just
I think it's going to be like 1.9.
I think it's gonna cool off, man.
Well, yeah.
I don't think it's gonna get to $6 billion.
People said many things.
Yeah. People said
Ben-
Shenmue 3 would never
Right.
happen.
People said many things.
If Ben wins this, does that contribute to removing his scrub status?
It would be shed forever. That'd be a lifetime shed of the scrub status.
That's drastic.
yes.
But
It's
I
not
think-
if he wins with $6 billion,
If
yes.
I win with, that's
Yeah.
Ben,
He just
don't,
he doesn't have to win with $6 billion. He
don't
just has to
donate,
win
Ben.
with $3 billion would even do it, I think, right? 3.1 bill?
That would be
3.02 bill.
Would be closer, most likely, than anything. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's all you got to get to.
Okay.
make it happen.
Last week's bet was about the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance Tactics, which released on February 4th. This one is going to be controversial.
Yeah.
So, Jones, you bet 3 minutes and 10 seconds. Blood bet 6 more.
Wait, 3 minutes. What?
I forgot a sentence. How long would the credits be? How long will it take for the credits?
I think you're talking about the game length.
Right, I know, man. Woof. So from the first word of the credits to the last word of
How
credits.
long until you hear the word gelfling?
Is that a thing? Is
That's
that
just some nerd stuff.
is that some?
I've never seen the movie.
Is it?
Why do you got?
Is that like one of the
That's
puppets?
the
Is
Why
it-
you
race
got to
of
shoot
the-
down this
oh my
wonderful
God.
children's property?
It's not wonderful.
Clearly, it's a. Oh boy.
It's
Oh, look at
freaky.
this.
It's freaky.
I thought they were kind of
bet it's
hideous.
freaky.
Yeah,
That's
they
why I
are
never
freaky.
watched
Wonderful.
it. I thought they looked dumb.
Oh, it's super freaky.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
We're weird Muppets.
Yeah, don't talk to me about those weird. I like hairy Muppets.
Yeah, you
There's
do.
Harry Muppets in this.
I like felt Muppets.
You're a big Fozzie guy.
Yeah.
Fizz gigs, Harry.
There's all kinds
There's
of
something
Muppets in it.
about you just saying I like Harry Muppets that's like, it's just weirding me out, man.
I'm into it.
Okay, I should have said furry.
No, I like
I
Harry.
like furry Muppets.
Harry.
'Cause you're right. Harry is gross.
Muppets cater salt.
I like Harry Muppets.
No. No. If the Muppets have hair, if they have arm hair like I have arm hair, this is too much. Muppets.
Is that a hairy one? I like those.
No hairy Muppets. I do not.
Is your Muppet too
those
hairy?
hairy
Save
Muppets.
20% on Manscaped
Oh boy.
with code allies.
All right.
Second call out.
So Damiani, 3 minutes and 21 seconds. I bet 3 minutes and 51 seconds. Ian bet 4 minutes and 22 seconds. Jones,
Yes.
take us through the science through which we determined this bet.
This
Okay.
is crazy.
So unfortunately,
Yeah.
this is a longer game than I had planned. I thought I would potentially review this. I got enough out of the game
Yeah.
before. I'm looking forward to speaking about it, hopefully on Frame Trap and other places. But
And Jones, if not you, surely someone online has a full playthrough of this game. Surely,
yeah,
right?
it's a long game. It came out. It's only been out for 2 days.
And
came out
there's-
on Tuesday.
As the time of recording, no
There's
full
nothing,
playthrough.
not even a lot of streams.
Yes.
So nobody's gotten to the credits. You can get to the credits in the options.
Uh-huh.
And from my gaming experience,
Yes.
once you do that, that is the same as the credits always. It's like it's loading that thing. It's
Of course.
it's telling the game to do the thing that.
Why, is the game doing
that
a weird
also
thing?
happens if you finish the game. It does the same thing. Look, you load credits.
You
know,
sound
that's how
incredibly
coding
defensive
works, right?
right now. No, you
You've
sound
coded.
defensive.
Ian's coded before. Load credits.
Uh-huh.
When you load these credits, they don't scroll automatically. You have to manually scroll these credits.
Now that
So-
sounds fishy to me.
So that's what happens. You
Uh-huh.
go into the options, you go to the main start menu, you got to go, there's continue play and options.
Yes.
You go to options, says credits, you go to credits, and then they don't move. You got to like move the analog stick to move the credits. So you can make the credits scroll by for 10 hours if you want, if you really move them slowly. But I'm presuming it's like
What is the
fastest
shortest?
you
Uh-huh.
could do the credits.
Yeah.
The fastest you can do those credits is 4 seconds.
Okay. So here's the thing, everybody. We're going with it. We're taking those 4 seconds. If you beat this game and the credits do not do that, if they have a natural scroll, tell us, please.
Yes. And we will arrange.
We'll arrange-
We have more to do into 2020, obviously. So
Yeah, but Jones
We'll get back
has.
to it.
He's got the low bet. You bet.
Yeah.
You bet 210. That was our lowest bet.
Yeah.
That means you've won. You are the closest to 4 seconds. You win that bet.
This is.
I think we should hold. I
this
think we
is
should
fishy.
wait
Sure, click the
until we
credits
can
earlier.
confirm.
I mean, I'm willing to take the point away from
I would do
Jones.
that if anyone on this desk or in that control room has ever played a game where they manually went into the options to load the credits and it did something vastly different than it did once you played the end of the game. Played a different song, did a whole different thing. It's like,
But I just can't
what would be the
imagine-
point of that?
I can't
Especially for a
imagine beating a final
$20
boss.
licensed game to be
Yeah.
like, you know what? In the options, let's change it up.
To me,
You know,
doing it.
we have no cutscenes from the show, actually, from the Netflix show, even though Netflix produced this. But let's throw a curveball with the credit loading. Like,
To me, doing it
don't
this
buy
way
it.
in the options is the better way to do it, though.
I'm not doing this for the win. I'm just saying
Yeah.
one of y'all's got to beat Dark Crystal Tactics. I'm
know.
going to.
Okay.
No, I'm good.
There's an
Or one of
8-hour
y'all.
part 1 playthrough on here, but it doesn't have.
There's
the
a part
ending.
2 of that even, but they still don't get to the end of the game.
Oh man.
At least
It's
not
a-
to the
it's a
credits.
big game.
Yeah, it's apparently a big game. So that brings our totals to Gorgeous Gorillas 2,
Ah.
Sick Owls 2.
I think only one of you is sick.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Joe sounds like a spring chicken.
Yeah, what's the deal, Jones?
I'm sad.
Oh.
I'm so excited.
I get a little more oomph on that. Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm sad all the time. I'm not sick.
Right.
Give me sick, Jones.
I can't. I'm not going to do the same thing. Why now? Why that we've done 5
Brad
podcasts
called you out.
with
I don't
this?
like the other team calling us out. I feel like we need to fix this now.
Okay,
Sounds
should
like
I be
he's
more
faking
sad
sick.
or
Maybe
should
horse.
I like
Maybe horse.
Okay.
Yeah. Ooh, that's
go.
good. That's really good.
All right.
Okay.
This
This guy's trying to skip school, dude.
Yeah, we'll get him next time. Let me tell everybody about patreon.com/easyallies. That would be the URL you would type into your web browser if you want to see more things from the Easy Allies, you want to see what we're about, you want to see how to support us, because it is primarily through patreon.com/easyallies. As you heard earlier on in this podcast, if you don't like podcast halftime for whatever reason, I'm not sure I get that. If you're a patron of the Easy Allies, you have this version of the podcast that skips right over it, which is frankly bizarre, but it exists. It's an option to our patrons. If you give $5 or more a month, you get the podcast 2 days early. You will get it every week on Friday as opposed to Sunday, as well as many other podcasts early. And there are many other tiers, many other shows that we do, things to check out. Check out patreon.com/easyallies. And that is episode 200. Woo!
Yay.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Jones, you want to do shout outs for episode 200?
You know I do.
Okay.
Shout out to L. Thanis, Greg the Dark Knight Kettering, Caleb Togi Crawford, Will Schmuck, and Mr. One Luigi.
Shout
Shout
Oh, no,
Shout
Brad.
out.
No, you don't get to call
What?
out.
I'm next to a bunch of sick owls.
You don't get to call out the sick owl and then phone in shout out.
Shout out.
No. Okay. So,
All right, shout out.
no, it goes in a wave. It goes in a wave. So you say your shout out. When
I
you
was
hear me
there
say
for
out.
that. I know. I was leaning back, though.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Shout
Shout out.
Nice. Thank you. The wave of shout out. Brandon Jones, you have purportedly won the bet this week. You get the right and responsibility to share your Twitter handle with the world. You get to promote any Easy Allies video you'd like to promote.
Yeah.
You get final word on anything you've disagreed with, want to reiterate, just popped into your head. And you get to sign off with your trademark sign off.
You can follow me at Trailer Jones. I will very, very selfishly promote the first 10 minutes of our last group stream, where I got to.
dare you. How
I got to.
Just tune out after the first 10.
Yeah, just bail. I got to get some looks on faces I've never seen.
Yeah.
I got to put an expression on your face, Kyle Bossman, that I have not seen since I've known you, man. And
Actually,
that
fair, Jones, because you made that bet on this very podcast, so it's worth bringing
so
up the
good.
entirety of it.
was so good. Just the whole. Oh yeah, I did make the bet on the podcast. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the end of our Cats bet, which I lost because as does happen in film sometimes, a UFO tire turned into a chandelier hot air balloon. Which, if I had a nickel, I tell you. And so I lost that bet. I had to perform an entire song from Cats, and so I performed one of my faves. Won't tell you which, in case you want to save that, in case that's spoilers.
Yeah.
People tell me I spoil, so I don't want to.
And we're not talking about a nice
Give
little
too much info.
55-second podcast rap. This seemed like 4 or 5 minutes.
The actual song on the official recording is 4.5.
Yeah.
And I didn't do the chorus. They do sing the chorus of this cat, and I saved
I
that
did
one for you.
notice that. I
saved
noticed
it for you. I took that out, changed some of the language from third to first person, to fit the
Damn,
scene.
dude, nice.
Yeah. Thanks, Brad.
That is
It
really
was
cool.
impressive. Yeah.
You did not stutter once. I did not ever see you search for lyrics.
I did goof one lyric. I did. Right in the beginning. I goofed one. Huh. But I won't tell you which.
And I'll have no idea.
That's when he said he was a dog.
I did. Yeah, I did. I did address myself as a canine at one point. I was like, no.
I just gotta keep going.
You have one job. Yeah. And I'll just double down on all those cutscenes, man. Cutscenes are so great. I think all of those were awesome. Shout out to obviously I dig 6, but as someone who did not play 7, I just my eyes glossed over with joy. I wept when I saw those cutscenes from 7. When I saw those summons. So good. Cheers.
Yeah, don't talk to me about those weird. I like hairy Muppets.